Hilti is a provider of tools, services, and software to the construction industry. And we've been doing that for over 80 years to over 120 countries around the world. From the beginning, acting responsibly has been a key part of how we work as a company. But we also understand that in the last few years, the expectation of society and of our employees and of our stakeholders has increased with everything related to sustainability. We really wanted to take sustainability to the next level. And for us, a very important part of sustainability is the circular economy. The construction industry is a really unique industry because on the one hand, it solves a core human need for building the buildings where we all live and work. On the other hand, we know that it's a huge driver of some of the environmental problems that we understand. Over 50% of the raw materials that we use in the world go into construction. But still today, less than 10% of our resources are used in a circular way. Hilti would like to be our customers' partner for sustainability, and we want to lead the industry in circularity. And that means two things for us: offering circular solutions for our customers, but also role modeling circularity in our own operations. It's really about valuing these raw materials, which we sometimes don't properly value. So it's about keeping those materials in use, but also mitigating supply chain risks and being less dependent on volatile international markets. Unlike CO2, there is no global standard on how to measure circularity. Together with BCG, we created our Hilti Circularity Score about understanding our circular performance. And it's divided into two overall topics, the quantitative side and the qualitative side. The very first thing that Circelligence allowed us to do was to have a really comprehensive database of the raw materials that we purchase as a company. Like most companies, we were able to say how much money that we spent buying, for example, steel, but couldn't have told you easily how many tons of steel that meant or how much recycled content was part of that. So a very big focus of that initial work was understanding what is actually the material footprint of how many materials we're using, how does that break down, and what is the recycled content across each material group. On top of that, we were then able to build out the methodology of measuring circularity across the value chain. So not just on the raw material and the input footprint, but across these 5 blocks in the product life cycle. And that really holistic picture allowed us to take a look and ultimately start initiatives that we're working on now. And here we've really begun our journey on remanufacturing. We have over 70 repair centers all over the world. Here we've started extracting components from our collected tools and reusing those in repairs. So electronics, motors, rotors, these are all things that we're able to extract, requalify, and reuse instead of shipping, transporting new spare parts. Anything that we can't reuse either internally or externally, we take care of the recycling together with qualified external partners. Last year, we recycled over 3,400 tons of electronic waste responsibly. And the key thing about that is that we are then able to provide transparency and details on that recycling and that reuse back to our customers. Hilti partnered with BCG, BCG X, and also SAP on laying the groundwork for how to automate the circularity score. And that is to make it more usable, to have a web-based interface that allows us to really take that digitalization to the next level. Ultimately, we really wanted to provide a service for the industry, not only the construction industry, but the broader landscape of any company that's embarking on circularity. And we hope that by being extremely transparent and publishing the scores, we're also able to spark the conversation on what are the most difficult things to improve and what are the things that really matter the most.